Transitioning from EUC riding in the suburbs of New Jersey and busy streets of New York City to the unfamiliar, uneven, bustling terrain streets of Rome, Italy can be a learning curve, as well as a pretty exciting ride. Add to that EScooter riding instead of EUCing, I have an interesting story to tell. I just returned from my vacation to Italy, and because EUCs are not allowed on planes, I did the next best thing. I decided to do the EScooter route. There are so many key points of safely riding an EScooter. The last thing I would ever want is to get injured in another country and have to worry about medical care as well as ruining my vacation. These are the most important things to consider. The best feet position, whether left foot forward or right foot forward. Basically, right foot forward is best to better position should a car door open when riding on the right side of the road. With right foot forward, at least if there is a potential crash, you are able to do evasive maneuvers and, as the worst scenario, hitting the obstruction with your shoulder instead of exposing your vital organs, such as the liver and ribs. Legs should always be relaxed and not locked tight, which will help absorb the impacts of the road. Number 2, how to position for braking to avoid flying forward. It's best to lean back to avoid the momentum of flying forward. Never ever ride front forward stance as if riding an EUC. Number 3, always have both hands on the handlebars. We need both hands to maximize balancing and preventing wobbles. Number 4, need to wear a helmet. However, bike helmets are too big and bulky, so I took my portable helmet, Morpher brand, to my trip. So nice and portable, it was perfect for my backpack carry-on. It was discreet and took up little space. I saw EScooters everywhere when I was walking the streets of Trastevere and Rome. I was constantly lured like a kid in a candy store wherever I walked. Here was my setup on the EScooter. The selfie stick securement was kind of jiggly, but I knew the stabilization of the Insta360 software would keep my video smooth. I had my daughter, who was used to EScooters, orient me on the Lime scooter app orientation. Being 200 pounds plus with backpack on was severely limiting while riding the underpowered, slow Lime scooter, especially when going uphill. However, despite that, I was able to get my ride going to about a 10 to 15 mile per hour speed. Not Nikola EUC speed, but more like one-wheel speed. Thanks to my buddy Ted Raimundo, who introduced me to EScootering a while back, I was able to acclimate to EScootering with ease. I use my usual situational awareness when riding my EUC to keep myself from being run over. In fact, I almost did. I had one impatient driver cut me off. This is a prime example of how the more powerful and faster a motor is, the safer the ride will be.
Yeah, the guy almost ran me over.
Oh, what? You almost got ran over?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
He just got in front of me.
Oh.
E-scooters, mopeds, bikes, and cars and trucks are constantly sharing the same roads, which is both a plus and a negative. The big plus is that the big motor vehicle riders have been visually and spatially conditioned to be aware of the small humans riding the roads. The car drivers tend to be more forgiving and so not constantly honking and screaming expletives at the slower PEV riders, such as the e-scooterists. I so wanted to see an EUC rider here, but only saw one riding the local street of Trastevere on an InMotion V8. He had full-face helmet on and no other gear visible. Even the freaking cab driver that almost ran me over didn't honk at me nor screamed obscenities. I could also sense that he even slowed down when he sensed he was about to run me over. The main thoroughfare roads are paved with cement. However, the side streets are cobblestone lined. Rome's cobblestones are known Sampietrini, which means Little St. Peter's, named for the square where the stones were first set in the 16th century. Comfortable footwear with decent traction is highly recommended if you plan to walk these cobblestone streets, as they can be quite uneven to navigate in. These roads are extremely slippery when wet. They've also come loose from the pressure of automobiles over the years and have been known to send cyclists flying from their bikes. The stones add to the noise of traffic, whose vibration causes damage to surrounding buildings, while a missing San Pietrino can pose obvious dangers to motorists. However, the San Pietrini have certain advantages. They are robust but quick to remove when required. They offer easy drainage and can be reused. During Italy's coronavirus lockdown in the spring of 2020, grass grew between the city's San Pietrini, most notably in Piazza Navona and Piazza del Popolo, which were covered in a green carpet. There has been a plan to actually asphalt pave most of these roads. However, for every stone removed, they will be transplanted on smaller streets where only pedestrians need to travel across them. A total of 118 streets are expected to receive the recycled stones. The most high-profile street destined to be paved with San Pietrini is Via del Corso, the main thoroughfare between Piazza del Popolo and Piazza Venezia. We had just gone through another one-way road again. Up ahead, we saw a cop car and decided to go to the sidewalk this time to avoid any problems. After 9 days' stay in Rome and having walked and ridden the streets, conversed with the many very friendly and helpful locals of the areas nearby, and learned more of the rich history of Rome, and having seen the magnificent landscape, winery of Tuscany, and so many other cities, I definitely would love to return to this beautiful country where the old and new blend harmoniously. Most of all, to see the friendly smiles of the locals and the amazing food. The porchetta panini was unbelievable. So similar to lechon with crackly skin sandwich. Wow! Between the EUC and EScooter, I would take the EUC anytime, anywhere. The bigger tire of my EUC would have handled the cobblestones and irregularities of the Italian roads with ease. The small wheel of the scooter would be no match to the bigger wheel of my EUC with the irregular terrain here. The nimbleness, portability, power, range, and hands-free control of the EUC makes it a better wheel. To the scooter's credit though, it was quite reassuring of not having to worry about a power cutout fall. Should it happen, I would merely just coast versus a faceplant on an EUC. I was quite impressed at how PEVs, whether e-scooter, e-bike, EUC, or whatever, were so much more prevalent here in Italy. The car drivers have been preconditioned already to the sight of smaller moving objects on the road. Hence, the car drivers are more aware and forgiving of the PEVs. This constant presence of the smaller riders on the road will precondition on the minds of the large vehicle riders to watch out for us. Hopefully, someday the US will have PEVs more ubiquitous too. With regards to my portable helmet, a helmet is better than no helmet. Definitely, if you are riding an EUC, full-face helmet is the way to go. Period. If you are going to ride any moving vehicle, it's best to protect your brain. You only have one. For instance, during my vacation, it makes no sense to pack a standard helmet. This allows me to save space in my bag, as well as protecting my brain when enjoying what I love most. Thanks for watching, and until next time.